Okay, I don't think this one's going to be too long. Could be wrong. My brain is random. But I just want to apologize to you, Michaela, Elijah. I am sorry. I realized some of the things that I said in my early videos for this series, while I believed them at the time, they weren't right. Technically, it's true that Maybelle stole the last 14 years of your lives from me. It's 2025. I got out of prison in 2011. I can't hold her responsible for any of the time before that. But the part that I realized wasn't quite right just needs a small rephrasing. I allowed her to steal the last 14 years of your lives from me. And I will never live that down. I'll never forgive myself for it. When I got out of prison in 2011, I know I called her that same year. When she found out it was me, she blocked me. Sometime later, I got another number, basically the same thing. I tried to message her on Facebook to try to come see you guys. She got my first account deleted. I made another account sometime later. I had stolen pictures of you guys from hers and Natasha's Facebooks. One of them tried to get my account closed, maybe both of them, for posting pictures of you. But given that you are my children, Facebook couldn't enforce it, which I'm very grateful for. But there was one time that I messaged her on Facebook, and she finally took the time to respond. And she openly admitted that she blames me for what Tammy did. Tammy's the reason CPS took you guys from Jennifer. She knows I had nothing to do. Maybelle knows I had nothing to do with that, and she didn't care. Maybelle knows that I could literally do nothing about it. I was in prison at the time. She still doesn't care. Sometime later, I'd gotten a friend of mine to drive me out to your house in Arlington and drop me off over there. I had her drop me off and leave because if she stayed, I might have chickened out. There are very few things in this world that truly terrify me. And off the top of my head, there's only one I can think of. Approaching the two of you and having you reject me. I honestly don't know if I can take that. I'm pretty sure I can't. So, yes. The only reason that I can say that I'm not truly a coward in that regards is because I have tried. After I showed up to your house in Arlington, Within 2 years, she moved. And a couple of weeks ago, when I showed up at your new house in Crowley, her response proved she moved because I showed up at her house. Come to find out, even Jennifer didn't have your address. She has it now because I gave it to her. But yes, I'm terrified of being rejected by the two of you. But a coward is somebody that wouldn't have made the attempt. I contacted a private investigator earlier this year, and I'm not rich. I'm on disability. I barely have any money, but I was able to get him to dig up some phone numbers that could possibly be yours. And this is where I've been very cowardly. I've called through those. Yes, I have called through those numbers. Nowhere near as often as I should have. I wouldn't give a damn if Maybell answered. What I'm afraid of is one of you answers the phone, finds out who I am, and then doesn't want to talk to me. I don't know what Maybell's been telling you two about me, but know this. I have my problems. I have my faults. I'm not perfect, and I will never claim to be, outside of a not very obvious joke. Under normal circumstances, I'm very much a joker. I make light of just about everything. But if she tried to tell you that I chose not to be in your lives, Michaela, August 19th, 2008. Elijah, August 12th, 2009. I got arrested April 28th, 2009. And ended up doing 2 years. I didn't get a choice there. Now, a quick thing to note. At the time, there was some legal circumstances I needed to be taken care of. Me and Jennifer had been homeless, bouncing from place to place, trying to keep you safe. Somewhere mid to late April, a friend of hers had gotten in touch with her and offered to let her and Michaela stay with them, but she didn't know me, so she didn't want me there, and my response was ecstatic. I was grateful. My wife and my daughter had a safe place to stay. Once I found that out, I set the appointment with the police department. I went in there and I told them everything. I told them what was going on. I told them what I was doing to try to get by, that I was bouncing from place to place. And I still remember the detective asked me, "You do realize you're just confessed to a felony here, right?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." "Why would you do that?" "Because if I sat here and lied to you and told you everything and tried to make it sound like I didn't do anything, I expect you'd throw the book at me." Alternatively, what I'm hoping is because I came in here willingly and I'm telling you the honest truth about everything, that there may be a chance for some leniency. There wasn't. As soon as we finished updating my paperwork, another cop came around the corner and told me to put my hands behind my back. I ended up doing 2 years in prison. I'm sorry for these pauses. Due to the ways that I was raised, I've never really done a good job when it comes to handling my emotions. It's something I'm still working on, but I don't think I'll ever get down. But now, fast forward 2 years later, I tried to contact Maybell to see you guys repeatedly. Didn't happen. Showed up on her doorstep. She moved. Showed up on her doorstep in Crowley. She called the police and got a criminal trespass on me because she couldn't do a restraining order because I had done literally nothing wrong. In the video that I uploaded that day, I also linked and uploaded the video that I had recorded from that, because she may not say the words, but the truth is that Maybell hates me. The truth is she's hated me ever since the first time we met. I don't know what her reason is. Honestly, I don't want to know. I don't care. She's nothing but an obstacle. I don't care to get her respect. She's not worth it. Now, the reason for this video, the reason I'm apologizing, the reason why I had to correct the way that I said it, it's not that Maybell stole the last 14 years of your lives from me. I allowed her to steal it. Is because I should have been blowing up her phone, blowing up her Facebook. I should have been showing up every single time that I had time to try to see you guys. I should have thrown it so much in her face that she would have realized that there's nothing that she could do to get me to stop, so she just needs to let me get to know you guys. That's what I'm apologizing for. I should have thought harder. Back when I got out of prison, and I don't know, next 6-7 years or so, I'm not sure exactly, I kept trying to get into a situation where I could provide for you two. You were raised by her. You were raised in her house. I was never going to try to forcibly take you. What I had hoped was to get into a situation where I could provide for you, and with that, be able to start seeing you going through the courts, because Maybell, I'm just going to leave that. I wanted to be in a situation where I could provide for you. That way, If after getting to know me, you wanted to come live with me, you could. But it was always going to have to be your choice. I don't know if she was afraid that I'd take you guys from her. Honestly, I feel like I'm not saying I'm right because I honestly don't know, but what I believe at this point is that she forcibly kept me out of your lives because if you ever asked me why I haven't been in your lives, all I would have to do is tell the truth. I have tried to be in your lives. I have tried to be in your lives many times. A couple of weeks ago, you guys live in Crowley. I live in Dallas. I don't have a car. I used a bike to get to you. I haven't been back since because it blew out the back tire on my bike, and with my health, I cannot safely make that walk. Yes, I kind of cheated. I used public transit to get as close as I could, but it still ended up being, well, it was supposed to be roughly a half an hour bike ride. My plan was to show up at your schools and just try to talk to you when you came out. But the back wheel blew out completely. I wasn't going to make it to your school until after 5 because of it. And realizing that it closes at 4:15, I knew that the odds of me seeing you were already low, and seeing you without also having Maybell there get in the way, yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So I turned around, and on my walk back, it dawned on me, I'm basically going to walk by your house on the way to get back to the bus. So I went over to your house. I came from Dallas, yes, most of the way with public transit, but I want to say that the bus ride was like 5 hours. Yeah, I took a 5-hour bus ride. Then close to a half an hour on my bike. I don't remember exactly how long I was on the bike. But then roughly half an hour walk from where I finally realized I wasn't going to make it there on time to turning around and getting to your house. I showed up. I was polite. I was respectful. Yes, I continued to ring the doorbell, but feel free to go check the video I recorded of being there. I wasn't spamming it, hitting it back to back. No, I was very respectful with it, more respectful than they deserved. And that video proves I didn't do anything wrong. You are my kids. I want to get to know you. I want to be a part of your lives. I always have. Ever since having a choice on adopting Cheyenne, I knew I wanted kids. More than that, I knew I wanted a boy and a girl, and I got right off the top. One of my big, no, yeah, one of my two biggest mistakes since I came to Dallas. First was not showing up so often to piss off Maybelle to make her concede. I should have done that. But the other, the reason I never amounted to anything, the reason I never got into a position where I actually could provide for you two, I knew what I wanted, but I never made a plan. I started with going to whatever job would hire me. That was the first mistake. And then after that, it was simply bouncing from one job to the next. I never had a plan. I had a goal, something that I wanted to do. But no, it'd be more accurate to call that a dream. Because a goal is something that you have a plan to achieve. The goal is something that you map out your steps, your progress, and you have a clear, defined method of getting it. I never had that. I was too busy too busy trying to be active and not busy enough trying to plan ahead. And I'm sorry for that. I'm just going to end it here because there's really not much else to say. I'm not trying to sit here and trash talk anybody. The one thing that I hope that the both of you remember through these videos, and if I ever get to see you, because if I get to see you and I get to talk to you, I am going to make this promise in person. I will never lie to you. Now, there may be things that you ask that I won't answer, but I'm not going to try to cover that up. I'm going to tell you outright whatever the reason is why I don't want to answer the given question. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The things that were my fault, I'm going to take the blame for. The things that I could have done better, I'm going to take the blame for them. I'm not perfect. I'll never claim to be. Anybody that claims to be perfect, anybody that believes that, hell, anybody that acts like they can't be wrong, that's not a moral person. That's not somebody you should try to be around. Michaela, Elijah, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. I wanted to be a part of your lives, but I didn't make the right choices. And it's something I will never forgive myself for. But please know, more than anything, I do love you both. And if nothing else, I would hope that these videos prove that, because I'm trying to ensure that even if I never get to meet you, even if I never get to know you, that you can still get to know me and learn from me. Tomorrow I have a friend of mine that's going to give me a ride. I know I am very late, but I have birthday presents for both of you, and I'm going to try to get them to you. I don't know much about you two. Elijah, I know you're in the band, and according to Jennifer, you're pretty good at it. I don't know if she has any musical talent whatsoever, so I don't know if that means anything. But I do know that your Aunt Cheyenne is working on she's working on a musical career, so hopefully you're taking after her. Michaela, when she told me that you like to draw, I have to admit I got a really big kick out of it, because when I was in high school, I loved to draw. There was a while I was even pretty good at it. But then years of neglect, years of not drawing, not making any effort, I can draw a pretty mean stick person now. Don't get me wrong, I'm a little bit better than that, but not by much. But I say this because my present for you, because you're the only one I know I have an idea of what to get for. It's a pretty large art supply kit. And knowing that you like to draw, I got it because I wanted you to know that I truly do believe in you. I don't want you to ever give up your drawing. I don't want you to ever give up your art. Keep working on it. I know for a fact that you can make money off of it, that you can make an honest goodness living with your art. I know this because I know people that pay good money for custom art. One of the guys that I game with, I know for a fact on at least 3 separate occasions, he's dropped more than $200 paying for a custom artwork of something for one of the games that he was in. So you keep honing your skill. Bare minimum, it's a side job where you can make some extra money. Best case scenario, you get so good at it and you get enough of a following through networking that you could be drawing full time. That you could draw a couple of sketches a day, maybe a couple sketches a week, and be able to make a good living off of that. I do know it's absolutely possible. This isn't like back when I was in high school when the internet was barely a thing and networking really wasn't much of a concept. Nowadays, if you combine a skill that you have that you've honed with networking, you can make a living doing almost anything. I saw a YouTube channel of a guy that made a living facing his fear of spiders. He said that he was arachnophobic. He started with holding every spider that was in his area. Then he ventured out to his state. Then he ventured out across America. Then he started going global. He literally used the money from his YouTube videos to travel the entire planet. His videos of him finding dangerous spiders and holding them. Yeah. If he can fund traveling the entire globe just making videos like that, you can make a living doing almost anything. I'm probably going to say this some shape, form, or fashion on every video, but please know that I love you both. And there is nothing I would not sacrifice to be in your lives. I love you.